Beyond positive intentions, stories behind a community-based research study on barriers facing LGBTQ+ newcomers in Toronto. Verbally abusive language and loss of a loved one. Nafula and Alex's stories aim to capture some of the complexity of the issues and experiences raised in this research study, and how, regardless of educational and occupational background, ethnic origin, length of stay in Canada, LGBTQ+ newcomer women, as well as trans and gender non-conforming newcomers, are excluded and discriminated against in the system and while accessing services and programs. Her story in particular touched on system-level issues surrounding economic deprivation, insecurity, insufficient and inadequate shelter services, injustice in the refugee claim process, and service-level issues around service provider apathy, neglect, and interpersonal discrimination. Produced by Access Alliance Knowledge Mobilization Social Action Team. This is where you grew up, your family's farm in a small community in Kenya, East Africa. Ever since you can remember, you have lived in endless fear. You fear being found out as a lesbian. You know that many in your family, your church, and your community would not tolerate it. You feel entirely alone. You fear if you come out, you will face harassment, isolation, and even torture. You and your siblings are raised by a single mother. Your mother is strong and strict. You are poor, but she worked extremely hard to bring food to the table. Beatings are a regular discipline routine in your household. At age 13, you had your first romance with a girl. The love was blooming like you were never going to be apart. You hang out, take care of the cows, talk, laugh, and swim. You are happy and carefree. You are so much in love that you forget you are in Kenya. Your mother catches you. Her anger and beating were so severe that you thought she would have killed you. She forces you to promise to never see your girlfriend again. The villagers treat you and your girlfriend like evil diseases. She could not take it anymore and committed suicide. With an open wound, you decide you must leave. You know cities like Nairobi have more people like you, but still you feel too close to home, still fearing being seen. You know you must go further. You arrive in Canada as a refugee. You are met with a warm, supportive LGBTQ+ community. For the first time, you can finally tell people that you're a lesbian without fearing an explosion. You are full of hope, even though it takes a lot to settle into a new environment. You have no money, no status, and no formal education. You struggle to make ends meet. Finding an affordable place to live is so hard that you have to stay in shelters. As a Black lesbian, you are often misgendered. Some people are uncomfortable around you, but you're hopeful that you will live a normal life and be treated with love and respect once you become a Canadian. You are hopeful until one day you get to see your government-assigned caseworker. He questions your motive to come to Canada hard and cold. When he goes to photocopying your documents, you overhear him saying to a coworker,
"I don't get why Trudeau imported these stupid dykes in. If they're letting in bogus refugees, they'd better get someone who can pay taxes."
You are devastated. The feelings of rejection, discrimination, and violence wash over you. You are thrown back to the painful memory. The ruthless beatings by your mother, the bullying of the boys at school, grieving the loss of your first love. You feel dehumanized again, but you dare not say a thing. You stay silent for months, fearing the repercussion of having a conflict with a government employee. Thankfully, you have found a really good community in Toronto and a lot of friends. You feel you finally found a place where you belong. Life is still going to be hard, but with friends and community, it will get better.
Alex's story.